MHSAA On Pass is presented by Farm Bureau Insurance, proud sponsor of the MHSAA Scholar Athlete Award, and by the United Dairy Industry of Michigan, promoting healthy eating habits through the Sports Nutrition Award Program.
There have been 6 champions crowned already here at the Pontiac Silverdome, beginning with the games yesterday, and here we are on Saturday for the Class Double C Finals between the Vermontville-Maple Valley Lions and the Muskegon Oakridge Eagles. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the House of Sanders. My name is Bill Hobson alongside Earl Robinson as we are set to bring you what could be maybe the best and most exciting matchup of all of the championships being played here at the Silverdome as the Eagles and Lions get set to hook it up. It's 12-0 Maple Valley against 11-1 Oakridge. A couple of longtime coaches in Gunther Middlestat going up against Jack Sugars and Earl, a matchup that looks to be about as even on paper as it could be.
No question about it. This is a great matchup. We've got two teams that just had outstanding seasons. Both teams play very good defense, but that Muskegon team, they may have the most potent offense in the whole Big Ten, or not Big Ten, but the high school tournament this year. They've scored 359 points on the season, but that Vermontville-Maple Valley team has only given up 56 points. So it's going to be that classic matchup, the very potent offense against the very strong defense.
Yeah, the Maple Valley defense has allowed in the postseason only 2 touchdowns. They've given up a total of 12 points. En route to the Silverdome, they beat Berrien Springs 20-6 and Jonesville 22-6, then shutting out the Montrose Rams 20-0. Muskegon on the other side got here by way of a 41-7 victory over Newaygo. Then they beat Saginaw Novell Catholic Central 32-14. They also then in the semis pitched a shutout, this time against Rogers City, to make it here to the big dance. The coin toss was actually won by the Lions. They deferred their choice and will go on defense first in this contest. As we are just about set to start things off, Scott Van Ingen will start the Class Double C Championship. As the kick flies back deep, it is taken by Aaron Potts, who bursts over the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
Good strong run, straight up the middle, took it up the pike, good blocking, blocked very well, all the way up to the 33-yard line.
The Oakridge Eagles are led on offense by their senior quarterback, Seth Adkins, who threw for 20 touchdowns on the season, 7 interceptions. He checks in at 5'10", 176, behind a line that, oddly enough, Earl, on the left side is entirely composed of seniors, and on the right side, they throw a couple of juniors over there. We'll set that lineup for you in a second after the first down and 10 play out of the wishbone. Handoff goes to the tailback. That's Roger Daly. Roger averaging 6.5 yards per carry on the season. Comes in with 11 touchdowns of his own.
Yes, an outstanding running back. But to tell you, the man we're going to have to watch for, Tim Messner, all-state wide receiver. They go to him most of the time. He's had 49 catches for 1,100 yards and has scored 14 touchdowns. Watch for Tim Messner all day long.
Messner also averaging 22.6 yards per carry. Or per catch, excuse me. Second down and 10, though, after the short run on first down. This time the quick hitter, given to Roger Daly.
Daly's a strong running back, hit straight up in the middle.
That's my mistake. Actually, that's Ben Millis.
Ben Millis, their fullback, and he's had an excellent season, averaging almost 6 yards per carry. Millis has scored 11 touchdowns himself and 7 two-point conversions.
So our first third down and mid-range situation of the ball game.
Probably a passing situation.
Eagles come back to the line. They have a weight advantage at the line of scrimmage, especially if they run it to the left side. Now a little confusion here as Adkins has to redirect Messer to the left side of the field. Now whistles blow and the play clock has run down. Our first penalty of the game will be a delay of game. Let me set some of the offensive linemen for Muskegon Oakridge. Tim Johnson is a 6'4", 217-pound senior on the left tackle. Kyle Brott, also a senior at 205 left guard. The center is 186, Nate Monroe, a senior. Then on the right side of the line, a pair of juniors in Steve Walters and Derek Murphy. The tight end is Eric Houston. Aaron Potts and Tim Messer will share the receiving duties. Now third down and 10 as Atkins comes back under center. Quick hitter and not much room to run at all for Roger Daly. Great job by the Maple Valley Lions defense. The front five, actually, and Pat Lowe, Chris Gonser, Lucas Flory, Trent Harvey, and Lance Flory came in and held their ground, giving up not even 5 yards on the first possession.
I think they were trying to catch them off guard. I think they were thinking that they would pass, and as we know, coaches like to try to play that little cat and mouse game, and they tried to cross them up with the run, but the Maple Valley defense came on strong.
Jim Merrill averaging 29.5 yards per punt. Barely gets this one off. Nice kick as Adam and Jason Thompson are back to receive it. Just about ran up the back of one of the Lions, but instead it's down at the 37-yard line. Which brings onto the field the Vermontville-Maple Valley Lion offense, led by the senior quarterback Trevor Wowarnia. He's not going to put the ball in the air a whole lot. He has just 46 pass attempts on the entire season. What he will do, though, is get it to Jason Thompson, Andy Patrick, and Chris Gonser with great regularity, and those three young men have carried the load for this Lion offense.
When I was talking to their coach, he says they love to run the football constantly.
First and 10 at the 36. Fake pitch out, and the handoff goes to Andy Patrick. And he does not have much room to roam either as the front line of the Eagles comes through. That consists of Eric Houston, Ben Millis, Steve Walters, Kyle Brott, and Josh Chan, all of them near or above 200 pounds. Again, carrying a little bit of a size advantage at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, the Eagles.
And you'll see a little misdirection in the running game. They like to run counters, they like to run traps, but a lot of times they do like to run basic power football.
Second down and 9. Misdirection, handoff goes left side, lots of room to run for Jason Thompson. Jason over midfield, and if he doesn't get run down now, a nice cutback and a spin move, he could have made it into the end zone. Good pursuit, catching up on the Eagles, but not until Jason Thompson rips off a big one.
Jim Merrill made the stop, but I'll tell you, that's that great blocking that Vermontville-Maple Valley has up front. The Lions blocked it well. If you can see on the replay, he just takes it off tackle. He cuts to the outside, and he's gone. It looks like he's off to the races. Got that Barry Sanders kind of speed. Spins back.
And the spin.
Good spin move, and they're in great position to score on the first possession of the game.
He pulled away from Aaron Potts when it looked like Potts had a pretty good angle going. Now first and 10 at the 14. Quick hitter went right up the middle and not much room to operate for Andy Patrick, who's averaging 7.8 yards a carry coming in. Got stuffed there. In fact, the Lions the Lions of Maple Valley have their logo at midfield. I don't think it's the same team, but they have a lion on their helmet. And maybe they feel right at home here in the house of the Lions. Now second down and 10.
And they are, as you said, they are a running football team. They will constantly run it. They'll run it on fourth down. They will use all of their downs to try to get the first down first and then get it into the end zone. But they love to run the football.
Flags fly before the snap. Muskegon Oakridge, by the way, between the regular season and the postseason, have pitched 4 shutouts for Coach Jack Sugars. They will be hard-pressed to pitch one today, but the penalty here backs up Maple Valley, making it second down and long from the 19.
But it won't stop them. They'll still try to run the football. Probably a little misdirection in this particular situation. As you can see, the Muskegon defense has 8 men in the box, almost 9. So it's going to be very difficult for Maple Valley to run the ball.
And you called it right, Earl. They give to Jason Thompson, and he is swarmed and taken down by Muskegon's Ben Millis.
When we say that, when they put 8 men in the box, that's 8 men within a 5-yard line, sort of a vertical line, and it's very, very difficult to run the ball. They're going to try to force them into a passing situation, but again, this is a team that has only passed 46 times all year, so don't be surprised that even on 3rd and 19 if they run the football.
Wowarnia going to drop straight back to throw. Under pressure, gets hit, and gets it away somehow. With some room to operate now is Andy Patrick to the 15 and run out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. They're not going to pick up the first down on the play, but what a fantastic escape job by Trevor Wowarnia. Thought he was dead.
Yes, Muskegon blitzed, and he was just able to avoid the blitz and able to take it down, make a good gain out of this, puts him in pretty good shape for fourth down. I know they're not going to try a field goal. He's going back, and 81 just misses him. That's Josh Chan, just misses him. He's able to get it off, and boy, a very nice run by Andy Patrick, who's a fine running back.
And they will go for it now on 4th and 6 from the 10.
And at 4th and 6, even though they're in a passing formation, they may run the football.
They do. Quick hitter and nowhere to go. Andy Patrick is stuck at the line of scrimmage. Big defensive play, keyed mainly by number 81, Josh Chan.
And it is tough. I mean, it's really tough to run against an 8-man front, but this is what Maple Valley is going to be doing most of the day. They're going to see an 8- and 9-man front. Obviously, Muskegon, this is setting the tone for the game, will try to force them to do something they don't like, and that's to throw the football.
Well, the turnover on downs keeps the scoreless game intact with 7:07 to go in the opening quarter. Seth Atkins back out to lead the Eagle offense against a defense that starts 10 seniors for the Lions. Quick hitter on first down and some room to run as Ben Millis breaks a tackle and spins forward with a nice 14 or 15-yard pickup to the 24-yard line.
Good strong run by Ben Millis. Their fullbacks average almost 6 yards a carry, scored 8 touchdowns. And when you start looking for Roger Daly, then you look for Ben, because Ben will sneak in there and he'll bite you.
Oh, we've seen opposing running backs put on some spin moves here in the first series for each team.
Very impressive young players. Oh, full house backfield. We don't see that too often.
They have brought the beef, and the handoff goes to the first man through, is Roger Daly. Roger scored 11 touchdowns in the regular season, averaging 6.5 yards a pop. Picks up about 1.5 yards here, maybe 2, call it 2nd and 8.
Just a simple dive play right up the middle. One of those basic components of football that you learn very, very early when you learn how to play the game of football. Because sometimes that little basic run up the middle can be popped for a long one, and it sets it up for better plays later on in the game.
It's Ben Millis, Roger Daly, and actually the flanker Aaron Potts lined up in the backfield. Handoff goes to Millis, right side. Cuts back and covers up the ball wisely, getting it across the 32. First man in to lay the stick on him, number 13, Trevor Wawarnia, the quarterback, also getting some of his licks in on defense.
When I was talking with Coach Tom Sugars, he says he really likes Ben Millis, as he considers him his power runner. But he's a power runner with speed who can go outside. Yes, Jack Sugars, excellent coach, done a great job for Muskegon over the years.
Inside of 6 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Well, Seth Atkins on 3rd and short. Send the man in motion, and the pitch out comes with lots of room to run for Roger Daly. Good pursuit and closure on the defense by Jason Thompson, but not until Daly picks up the first down.
Daly showing that good speed, getting to the outside. A very quick and elusive runner, as his coach Jack Sugars told me the other day. Just a very quick runner. Here he goes, just a simple handoff, and he gets outside. Good blocking out of the in, sealed off, and a nice come up, make a nice stick, saved a long run.
Yeah, I was going to say, if Thompson doesn't get that stop, he may still be jogging down the carpet. 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Back to throw. Atkins going to throw it deep. Got hit as he released it, and the ball is tipped to the ground, incomplete. Pretty good coverage put on by the quarterback and defensive back, Trevor Wawarnia, as the pass was intended deep downfield for their leading receiver, Tim Messer.
Tim Messer, All-State, and I tell you, he has had to overcome some tremendous problems this year to make All-State. You know, he had 2 broken ankles,
yep.
2 major knee surgeries, 2 concussions to overcome, and yet still made All-State. You talk about tough. Tim Messer is tough.
They might have to tell him after the season that he got to play at the Silverdome. 2 concussions he might not know. 2nd down and 10. Quick hitter right up the middle. Picks up maybe 3 yards to the 40. That was Ben Millis.
Boy, you keep running that little play up the middle. Sooner or later, the defense starts cheating up in the middle, starts tightening up, and then bam, you try to hit someone with the outside. You try to get a pass on the outside. That's why you see a lot of teams run that particular play up the middle, simple dive plays, because they're really trying to set something up for later on in the game.
Well, the Eagles faced this similar situation to open the game. Now it's 3rd down at the 40-yard line. Option play is going to go to the right side. Atkins with room to pick up the first down. Near the 50, as he was keeping that one all the way to move the chains.
Good run by the quarterback, Atkins. the most difficult play in football to stop, the option. Because when you're the defensive end and the defensive and the linebacker, it's very hard to stop because you don't know whether that quarterback is going to pitch or fake. But as you said, he did not show, and as we're seeing in the replay, he did not show toss at all. He just took it and ran around the end. Good blocking, first down.
He just avoided the ankle tackle of Pat Lowe from behind. And Earl, we've seen this quite a bit in the games here this weekend at the Silverdome. The quarterbacks often running to the sidelines to pick up the next play from scrimmage as Aaron Potts falls forward for about 3. This time, and here he comes again, Atkins is running back over to his coach, Jack Sugars, to get the call, which isn't a big deal unless you just ran an option play to the exact opposite sidelines and get up and have to do some marathon work.
I'll tell you, coaches nowadays, they don't like to send the play
They don't,
in.
do they?
No, because a lot of times the kids are so anxious, by the time they go from the sideline to the field, they forget to play. It's happened on a lot of it. It happens even in college, and it used to happen in the pros when they do it in the pro game.
Until they stop paying the guy.
Exactly.
Second down and 7. Straight drop for Atkins. He has time. He's open, but underthrows the ball. Nearly intercepted by Jason Thompson. That one just kind of hung up. I'd blame it on the wind, but we're inside.
Yeah, we're inside. He just didn't have a good grip on that one. And, boy, there were a couple of players open. The tight end, Eric Houston, was wide open. But as I was told, they don't throw the tight end much because he's an excellent blocker. So he was wide open down the sideline that time.
Those tight ends are ignored in general all across the football world.
Exactly. Excellent. And sometimes I wonder, why don't they just make another lineman a blocker? Because they never throw to the guy very rarely.
Give him a jersey in the 70s.
Yeah.
Third down and 7. Straight back to throw again. Atkins under pressure, sets up the screen pass to Millis. Millis with some blockers at the 40, 35, inside the 30. Excellent screen pass to Ben Millis. Jason Thompson ran him out of bounds, but that was well disguised and even more well executed.
Oh, that was beautiful. Just the way you're supposed to run the screen play. Hold up the line, that defensive line, just enough. Then let them rush like they're going to get you. And I'll tell you, perfectly executed for a good game. As you see, Jason Thompson popped him, knocked him out of bounds. But, boy, Muskegon is on the move.
Mike Rayner in the game at fullback to replace Millis on this first down play. Handoff goes right side, and Roger Daly makes a little more room than I thought was there to begin with.
That was a beautiful hole. It opened a little late, but boy, he sort of hesitated, slowed up, got through the hole when it opened up, and picked up a very nice gain. We now have someone injured on the field.
They are quickly signaling to the sidelines.
And as soon as we can identify the person, we'll let you know.
And Earl, you talk about the patience that took place on that last carry for Daly. Isn't that one of the hardest things to teach a running back?
It is.
Just to sit. I mean, here's 11 guys coming at you who want to rearrange your world, and you're telling the guy to wait a step or two.
Wait for that hole to open up. Wait for it to develop, because sometimes the holes just don't open up as quickly as you'd like them to. And that is because if you're a running back, and in my long gone days when I used to be a running back myself, many years ago, I had that same problem sometimes. I'd get there. If the hole wasn't there, then I would try to dart to the outside and get to the outside. And, of course, a lot of times, there'd be a defensive end there waiting for me. And then the coach would get on me because he'd get the film. Next day, Earl, hole right there. Coach, it wasn't there. He didn't usually buy that excuse.
Yeah, they don't buy a lot of excuses, do they?
No.
The injured Lion was Lance Flory, the 145-pound senior, got up under his own power to come off the field, which is a great sign. It is second down and short, about 2.5 yards to go, just inside the 20-yard line. Did you ever play on carpet, by the way?
No, I didn't. Yes, I did. Did play one time on carpet.
Well, we'll talk about some of the differences that presents as we continue on this afternoon. 2:20 to go in the first quarter. The Eagles are driving. Roger Daly cut back at the 15. Nice move. Nice move to pick up the first down.
And the defense did a good job of stringing it out, not letting him get around the corner, because if he had him, it would have been touchdown. But he strung it out. The defense strung it out, and they were able to pick up the first down. But I'll tell you, I love Lucas and Lance Flory because they're men after my own heart. Little fellas playing on the line.
Yeah, how about a nose guard at 145? Jerry Ball has that before the game on his training table.
I was telling the coach, I said, I would love to play for you. That was always my dream in high school, of playing in the middle of the line, being a defensive lineman. Because in the neighborhood games, I would always rush the quarterback, and I was so quick no one could get to it. But they made me into a tailback in high school, and I never got to play the D-line.
First down at 10, even though the yard marker at the top of your screen says 3. Now they changed it to the first down. At the 15-yard line, quick hitter to the fullback. That's Ben Millis.
Power run by Ben Miller, straight up the middle, picked up good yards. That's what you want from your fullback. Just 3 or 4 yards up the middle. But I can tell you, Muskegon is going to try to wear down this tough little Maple Valley defensive line. Yes, they are small, but they are quick, and they rely on beating the linemen into the gaps to sort of fill up the line. And if you watch this game closely, you see a very quick line going against a big, strong, powerful Muskegon line.
Tailback is Roger Daly. He gets it right side under pressure. Steps through a tackle inside to the 10-yard line. Was able to somehow get out of the arms of, who was that almost had him? I think it was Richard Smith.
I think Smith got him. He had a little help from his friends, as we love to say. I tell you, this is a good defense, a very quick defense that really flows well to the ball. And as the coach was telling me, he says they are very quick, they flow to the ball, and they just love to get there.
The fourth third down play on this drive for the Muskegon Oakridge Eagles. Option play left side. Oh, he puts his head down, and Seth Adkins carries the defender inside the 5.
Who's that? Jason Thompson on the tackle, but I tell you, Jason got pushed quite a bit then.
I call that the Indiana Jones tackle, where you hang onto the front bumper and hope the truck doesn't run you over. Check that out.
Looked like a little bit like Chris Gonzer.
It was Chris Gonzer, and he got pretty much run down by the quarterback. So first and goal after the powerful keeper by Atkins. Handoff up the middle, fullback dives.
It's close.
Does Millis get in? There is no signal.
I think he stopped him.
Yep.
That was a good pop.
Stop that, big kid. You know you're stopping something. That play ends the first quarter, and if you want to talk about literally changing ends, they're in for a 100-yard hike.
Yes.
No score through the first quarter of play in a game that has featured, with the exception of maybe one strong screen pass, it's been all on the ground for both teams.
That's going to make this game go very, very quickly.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Well, if we had a highlight of the first quarter, I think that would be the run we just saw by Seth Atkins, the quarterback. It's just not supposed to happen that way. The quarterbacks aren't supposed to put their heads down. They're supposed to slide.
No, he ran that one like a fullback. I mean, he just put his head down. And, of course, for the defensive player, you have to get low. Get that runner around the waist. He didn't get low, and therefore, because he didn't get low, he suffered. He paid the price. He got pushed back by about 5 yards. And Seth Atkins almost got into the end zone. Here we go. He just kept it. No pitch, no toss. He's tackling up high, and Gonzer, he brought him down, but he got about 5 extra yards out of that. And now, of course, going into the second quarter.
Boy, that ball could not be closer to the goal line than it is right now. I mean, the white stripe is about leaning on the chalk by the official's feet. When we resume play, it'll be second down and goal from about the 1-inch line.
And, of course, with a team like Muskegon, who loves to run the football and keep the ball on the ground, it really favors them, because if they score first, we know they're never going to put the ball in the air unless they absolutely have to. And they won't do that unless they trail at some time in the game.
On the season, they have thrown the ball, well, Muskegon has thrown the ball a few times for 1,581 yards. But on the other side, Vermontville-Maple Valley has thrown the ball just 46 times on the year.
So actually pretty not good for Maple Valley here.
Second down and goal from about the 1-foot line. And believe it or not, before the snap can take place, flags come out. Perhaps someone's lined up in the neutral zone. Clapping by the blue jerseys usually means this ball will move about 2 centimeters, I think, is half the distance at this point.
That's about it.
Let's see him pace this off. He just turned the ball over. He just literally
pushed it maybe a little.
He rotated the ball.
A thumb.
The thread's up now.
But we know one thing about football. Even if you're a passing team, If you can run the football, you won't throw the football.
Exactly right. Here it is, second and even closer for the first touchdown of the game. Atkins gives to Millis, and he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. On a powerful drive that featured a screen pass and a whole lot of quality blocking by the offensive line. The Muskegon Oakridge Eagles draw first blood in this Class Double C championship.
And look for Muskegon to go for 2 points. They very rarely kick the extra point. They do have a good field goal kicker in Jim Merrill, and who's kicked 2 field goals between the 20 and 30, but they love to go for 2 points. And talking to their coach, they said they will go for 2 points every chance they get. Jack Sugars thinks they can. They just have the offense to convert. Look for also for All-State receiver Tim Messer or Ben Millis on this play.
Atkins going to roll out under pressure. Is rocked from behind. I mean to tell you, folks, he was absolutely popped by number 25, Chris Gonser, who got a little payback from an earlier run that took place to set up that touchdown.
He was thinking about that one, so he got a chance for a little revenge, I'll tell you.
That was as clean a shot as you're going to see at a quarterback. 6-0, just 3 seconds gone by here in the second quarter.
And if, as long as this Maple Valley defense can do some things like this, get in, use their quickness to get by. Now we'll watch him come through, and it looks like they're going for 2. No, this is a touchdown.
That's a touchdown
Just a simple off-tackle play, or actually between guard and tackle for the score. Ben Millis getting in, getting the first score of the game. Just a simple power blocking, which is awful hard for the smaller defensive line to block in a short yardage situation like that.
Before the kickoff, let me set the officiating crew. I meant to do that for you earlier. The referee is Paul Holmes from Gaylord. The umpire is Eric Danielson from St. Ignace. Brett Spalding is the head linesman from Thompsonville. The line judge is David Latusik from Grayling, and Hans Weinke is the back judge from Quincy. Good to have those. It's a big day for those guys as well. They've worked their way up the ranks to be here at the Silverdome. As we are now back to the action, this kick winding its way to the left side and hugging the sideline, somehow staying in bounds, is picked up by Jason Thompson, who gets across the 20.
Hard for us to see the angle from here, but it was hard to tell if that ball might have went out of bounds, which they'd be able to get it at the 35. But it's hard to see from this angle. Maybe it was just bouncing, and of course, you can't let it bounce because it is a live football. So he did the proper thing and picking it up and getting a nice little run back to the 23-yard line.
Head coach of the Vermontville-Maple Valley Lions, Gunther Middlestadt, who has been at that school for 13 years, amassed a record of 98 and 33 over his career. His team now out first down and 10, trailing at 6-0. And on first down, the give is to Chris Gonser, who just made the big hit on the 2-point conversion. Chris off the right tackle for about 3.
Chris, one of their 3 dominant runners, carried the ball over 90 times this year, averaged almost 5 yards a carry, and has scored 6 touchdowns. So he's one of the primary carries, along with Andy Patrick and Jason Thompson. You'll see those 3 young men carrying the football most of the time during this game.
They will become household names before we're out of here this afternoon. Pitch goes left side. Nice duck back in towards the middle by Gonser, just avoiding some defensive pressure. It looked like getting up near him and almost stopping that play may have been Aaron Potts.
Yes, he came up very quickly and almost made the stop. Good play by Aaron.
Setting up a 3rd down and 3. Pitch right side. And I don't know. It's going to be awfully close to the first down for Jason Thompson. Defense strung it out quite effectively.
It looks a little short from here. And yes, it's going to be 4th down. Even though they're going to measure, it's probably about a half a yard short.
Jeff Bowen and Brett Dutton come up from the secondary to make that tackle as they stretch the chains out. Oh, this is real close.
Just made it.
Well, it's about 1 pebble of the football. They picked up the first down. We will see, by the way, today quite often the leading tacklers most likely will come from the secondary for Muskegon because they're playing so tight at the line of scrimmage. It is not unusual to see a cornerback or a safety come up and make the stop. They're actually all playing linebacker today.
Basically, about a 9-man front in all honesty in this game.
It is. First down and 10. Lions get some room, and making the most of it is Jason Thompson, who turns it inside and crosses over into Eagle territory. Nice stutter step as he is finally brought down by Brett Dutton. And Jason Thompson, who's averaging 5.6 a carry on the season, certainly didn't hurt himself there.
And, Bill, that's the danger of when you play that 8- and 9-man front, because if you can pop it like we do here, just to pop it in the hole, there's no one in the secondary. Yep. He's gone now. You're going to get at least 20 yards and just an excellent run. But that's what happens when you're able to pop it at the line and then when everyone's playing up on the defensive side.
Now it looks like a pass coming up. It is. Warnier rolls to his right, throws deep, and it's complete. Stepping on the sidelines after the catch is Travis Van Alstyne, as the Lions shock the Silverdome by going not only to the air, but by throwing the ball deep.
That's the tight end, Travis Van Alstyne. I'll tell you, his 6th catch of the year, but he's averaging 23 yards a catch.
That's why. Here it is again. I tell you, Warnier just wound up and threw that every bit of muscle he had.
Could.
Yep. That was the old street play. You go down to the bus and I'll hit you. First down now and 10 at the 11. Misdirection and nowhere to go. Good defensive play.
Adam Baker, middle linebacker, make a lot of tackles today.
Came right around behind to drag that one down for a loss. Well, I'll tell you, Earl, when a team is known for running the ball 98% of the time, those passes can make a defensive coordinator's heart jump right up into his throat in a big hurry.
Oh, no question about it. They don't have a receiver that averages under 10 yards a carry.
Right, when they throw it, they throw it. Now second down and long. The give is to Chris Gonser, who goes between the right guard and right tackle. That's Courier and Harvey. Moves it inside the 10.
Just straight power running here. They're going back to their bread and butter. But now, about 3rd and 11. So, do they throw the ball or do they stick with what got them to the Silverdome? And that's running the football.
Actually, I think the scoreboard, now it's 3rd and 7. They're going to mark it correctly.
Well, they'll probably run 3rd and 7.
They may. Handoff, left side. Jason Thompson smothered.
It's awful hard to run when you're in the red zone here. But we know that we're going to take all 4 downs. So, it's not like the pro game or the college game. High school, a lot of times they do go all 4 downs. So, yes, they're going to try again. They picked up 3 yards on that one. It was the 3rd and 7. They picked up 4. So, again, they can run it here on 4th down, potentially pick up a 1st down, or get it in the end zone.
8 minutes and 8 seconds to go in the first half. The Eagles of Muskegon Oakridge up 6-0. The Lions going forward on 4th down from the 6. Misdirection, the handoff. Warnier fakes it, throws to the end zone, but we
got pass interference.
Yeah, we have flags flying because Brett Dutton got tangled up with Travis Van Alstyne and tripped him. I mean, he just flat out laid him on the carpet.
He did. And there was no way they're going to get around that one. Maybe it was an accidental trip, and I think it was. He was coming up to cover him because he would have been wide open.
Had Warnier decided to keep that and run it, no flag would have come out. But once he put that ball in the air, it was a no-brainer. That thing was on the way.
And now we should have 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that there's a conference at all taking place here.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see it again on the replay, but that was pretty much a trip.
What they're calling a...
What in the world is this going to be? Pass interference on the offense.
Oh!
Holding on the defense. They offset each other.
So the play goes over. The ball can't go over on downs on offsetting penalties.
No, it's still 4th down. And what happened apparently is that in the offensive line, somebody got a hold of a jersey which canceled out the pass interference. I did not see that flag come out.
I didn't either.
I saw 2 flags lying in the end zone, and that's all. And on the far sidelines, as you may imagine, Gunther Middlestad asking for an explanation. Meanwhile, he's talking to his quarterback, Warnier, trying to sort things out and plan another 4th down attack. They may come back with the same play.
They might.
That was surprising. Well, we've seen a whole lot of fun stuff in the first half, that's for sure. Now 4th and goal. No trickery this time, but no success either, as the give is to the fullback, Andy Patrick, who had no room to move.
No room to run, and They tried to straight up their basic dive play. I would have thought maybe a little misdirection, maybe a little counter, but hey, they've done a good job, and a good job by the defense. Let's credit that to the Muskegon Oakridge defense. They did an outstanding job in holding.
That's hard to argue with, going to a guy who was picking up almost 8 yards a carry during the season. So.
It really is.
But it didn't work, so it's 1st down and 10. Ball goes back to the Eagles. We've seen 2 turnovers on downs in this first half. Millis on 1st down, just trying to move it out of the shadow of the Eagles' own end zone. Goes straight ahead.
Gave them a little running room, and so that might help it.
He's not fancy, is he? He just covers it up and puts his head down.
I got a feeling we're going to see this Muskegon team who's used to passing, but I think they're going to try to take advantage of this smaller, quick Vermontville-Maple Valley defensive line and just run the ball out, try to tire them out, maybe in the 3rd and 4th periods.
Ben Millis built like a house, 5'11", 2 1/4. Aaron Potts, though, gets the carry this time, up across the 15 to the 1st down area at the 16. First time they've handed the ball to Potts, I do believe. And he's a dramatic change of pace from them going to Millis at 2 1/4. Aaron Potts comes back at you, and if you're not careful, he'll get by in a hurry. He checks in at 162.
Very quick, another quick player. He plays wide out, but of course they line him up in the backfield sometime.
1st and 10. And the fullback, or excuse me, the tailback, Roger Daly, pops through the line of scrimmage for a decent 1st down pickup.
Now, when I was talking with Jack Sugars, he was saying, well, since we're playing this game inside and in the dome, he was going to throw it around 20 times, he was telling me. I should have known. He might have been fibbing a little bit.
Times.
He said at least 20 times, but he probably saw this defensive line and said, gee, they're a little small. I think we can run the ball on these guys.
We're going to have a big second half if he's going to throw it 20 times. 2nd down and 7. Lions almost jump off on the play. They do get back as the handoff goes right up the gut to Millis.
What you're seeing is textbook football. Run the football left, run it right, run it up the middle.
4 yards of play.
4 yards of play, keep the clock moving.
With a 6-point lead, the Eagles at this rate may not give the ball back to Maple Valley in this half.
That's a good point.
Atkins now on 3rd and short. 2 receivers to the left. Man in motion goes left, but the play comes back to the right, and flags fly. I believe the tight end, Eric Houston, turned upfield a little bit before the snap, and they will call motion on the play.
Nice little cross buck, though, as we call it, a little counter trap. The guards pulled left and they come back right. Nice little play, but unfortunately, tight end may have moved just a little bit too soon.
Ben Millis on that misdirection ends up being isolated on a linebacker who most likely weighs between 160 and 175.
I like those odds.
Yeah, if you're Ben Millis, you like those odds.
Yeah.
If you're the linebacker, you like the odds if you have some help coming. Penalty sets it back, though, to 3rd and 7.
And the good thing for Muskegon is they can pass the ball, so they don't necessarily have to run. But again, they're coming up in a full house backfield.
They put Potts back there with Daly and Millis. Little play action look. Atkins going to throw, but loses it out of bounds. May have been hit as he got rid of it. And a good defensive stand by the Maple Valley Lions, who stand now to get the ball back in pretty darn good field position.
They do. They've got a solid punt return team that plays well, and with the quickness that they have, they can make a nice little run.
Jim Merrill is kicking for the Eagles, about 30 yards a kick he puts up, and then a pair of brothers, Adam and Jason Thompson, back to return the kick. Adam is the nearest, Jason is the deepest. High snap.
Jason has returned 2 punts for touchdowns.
Nice punt and a fair catch called for, bobbled and made by Jason Thompson. Jim Merrill got off a pretty nice boot there.
He did. Excellent punt. I don't know if I was Jason, if I might have taken a chance to try to run that one back. He had a little room. He's averaged over 18 yards per punt return. And so, but he called for the fair catch, and still they have it in good field position at their own 44-yard line to start this drive.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said for taking over at the 44. trailing 6-0. 4:51 to go in the half. Both teams, by the way, have all 3 timeouts remaining. As the Vermontville-Maple Valley Lions go on offense. Warnia's pitch to the right side ends up with Jason Thompson, who cuts back in for maybe 3.5 or 4 yards.
See, that was a little trick play, a little counter play. They lined up with a wing left. A lot of times you run to the direction of the wing player to get that extra blocking, but they tossed it right. Try to fool them a little bit, because you'll overload as a defense. You'll overload to where that extra player is, and they had the extra player on the right side. Now this time, again, they're lining up wing left, and they bring another player over. The defense does. And let's see, they're going to go right again.
Pretty much the same look.
And this time it works.
Andy Patrick, the fullback, almost an identical cutback, except he got to run a little longer.
Got to run a little longer, cut it back a little quicker.
Yep.
Obviously, they're seeing something up here. The coaches are seeing that play would work. Because it's just a little misdirection. Guards pull right. They line up strong left. And most of the time, you run strong left. But they've seen something in the Muskegon defense where they believe that they could make that a successful play, and they did.
Ball moves now into Eagle territory. Under 4 minutes to go, and back to throw is Warnia. Under pressure, heaves it deep. He's got a man. Oh, it's dropped by Jason Thompson. Oh, my. Brett Dutton waved at the ball and didn't get it. And Jason Thompson will be kind of kicking himself, and there he does, because he had a chance at a big reception.
Jason slowed down just for a moment because it was thrown high, and he thought, well, he might have to come back and get it. Here it is. I mean, he let it go.
Are you talking about winding up? These guys
wound it up, and then Jason threw, and then he said, oh, I got to pick it up again. He couldn't get his speed back to going, because if he had kept running, he might have caught it in stride.
Good look on the replay from our truck. That sets
Very
up
good look.
2nd down and 10 now, 3:43 to go in the half. They'll keep it on the ground, and it'll end up on the ground in a hurry. Chris Gounser swarmed, main man in, leading the charge, Eric Houston for the Eagles.
I tell you, this Muskegon defense is saying, Maple Valley, we know you love to run the ball, but we're going to force you to throw it today. If you want to win this football game, you're going to have to put the ball in the air.
And the saving grace in that for Gunther Middlestadt is that they have had 2 pretty good passes. Yes. One of them complete, and one of them should have been.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's now 3rd down and 13 yards to go.
And they're lining up with 3 wideouts, trips to 2 to the left, 1 to the right.
Straight back and under heavy pressure. The screen pass set up and almost intercepted.
I thought it was going to be.
As the Eagles had that snuffed out from the very beginning, Josh Chan almost picked the pass off. Instead, Warnia picks himself up off the carpet, and it's 4th and long.
They were ready for that one. I mean, they came straight in, and the offensive line, which is a good offensive line, just didn't give them enough time. And they might have been blitzing on that play as well.
And you're supposed to let some pressure in on a screen pass, but not as much as Mike Rayner just put on Warnia. Jason Thompson, a busy man, now handles the punting duties and gets one pretty high, but rather short. Fair catch called for and made by Tim Messer. 2:47 now on the clock, and some possibilities exist for Jack Sugar's Eagles team to pad their lead a little bit, which is currently at 6-0.
That's the advantage of a team that can throw the ball. 2 minutes and 47 seconds. They can get down the field a lot quicker than the teams that just run the ball, unless you can just pop one sometimes and catch a seam. But they can move the ball through the air, and let's see if they try to get a quick score before the half ends.
We will keep our eyes on their leading receiver, Tim Messer, who is split far to the right. Play action fake. Under pressure, though, Atkins better get rid of it.
He's open.
He does, and he throws it right into the hands of the Maple Valley Lion, Travis Van Alstyne. A flag comes out, but that pass was ill-fated from the very beginning, as Van Alstyne had excellent position.
And if he could have thrown it over the head of Van Alstyne, Tim Messer was open, but again, here we see the replay. He's throwing out of the pocket, and he just throws it right. He had to jump up to get it, but a very nice play. But Messer was open. He just couldn't get over Van Alstyne's head.
As Atkins was running and throwing, he never really set his feet. He actually threw a jump pass, and you lose a lot of velocity on that. Meanwhile, they are sorting out a penalty flag on the return, which is a clip against the Lions. And a major turn of events here on that play, because the Eagles, at the very least, I'm sure, thought they would run into the locker room up 6-0. And here come the Lions with a chance to change that.
Oh, and this penalty hurts. 15 yards. They would have had the ball on the 33-yard line. And for a running team, they might have could have punched it in. But now they're going to start at midfield. It's going to be a little bit more difficult for Maple Valley to punch it in here. But still, plenty of time. 2:37 left if they can move the football.
Just one touchdown in this game. It was a Ben Millis dive from pretty much the 2-inch line. Officials will stop play to change footballs. It's still oblong, though, so I think we're okay.
I think so. I tell you, what a great treat for these young men to come down here and play in the Silverdome on the carpet where Barry Sanders plays.
Yep, his footprints are still down here after Thursday's cutback move against the Bears. 2:37 on the clock. Misdirection play. Does he have any room to run? Jason Thompson finds a little bit, and maybe just as importantly finds the sideline, stops the clock, and it picks up about 4.
Picked up about 4 yards, which they need if they can pick it up. But they're going to have to break one. I mean, we're going to see they're playing still with about an 8-man front. They've got 3 backs, so if they can pop one, they can make a very good run.
Back to the air we go. Warnia rolls to his right, may keep it. Now he throws he throws a duck over the middle. It's got to be picked off, and it is. Ben Millis takes it away. Right back for the Eagles. That was not a wise pass by Trevor Warnia.
No, that was doomed. And especially when there was only one receiver initially out in the pattern, and then number 1 came back, and, but it was too late then. But that was a doomed play, unfortunately, and he should have just kept it, should have ran it, tried to pick up as many yards, or either 8 for a few yards lost.
Ben Millis could have signaled for a fair catch on this interception. Unfortunately for Warnia, he was throwing as he was backing up and lost all sorts of velocity and put one up for grabs.
Matt Rose tried to help him out on that one.
Tried to knock it down, actually. So back to the action as Millis is rocked. Excuse me, not Millis. That was Roger Daly is rocked at the line of scrimmage. I'm not so sure Jack Sugars wants to put it in the air again here in the last 2 minutes. We have seen a pair of interceptions now in the last 2 passes. Inside of 2 minutes, the Eagles taking their time at the line of scrimmage. They are up 6-0. And the keeper this time for Atkins shirks off a tackle and gets to the 50. Moves the chains, and a flag comes out. Might be a face masking penalty. And if so, that's going to tack 15 onto the end of this and dramatically change the complexion of this drive.
I tell you, if Atkins had chose to toss it at some period to Roger Daly, he was wide open. He probably could have ran for another 20 or 30. I mean, he was wide open on the toss. Seth just decided to keep it on himself. And they got the flag. They're in great position now.
Well, I'll tell you what, Earl, that yellow marker can make a world of difference in a football game. And right there, it instantly moves the Eagles into scoring territory with 1:33 to go. 15 free yards. And remember, in high school, there's no latitude. It's a 15-yard face mask penalty as soon as the flag comes out, unlike college and the NFL where you can have a 5 or a 15-yarder. That moves it to the 34.
End around.
Reverse play and some room to run for Messer if he gets a block. He does, but then he's swarmed. Outstanding recognition by the Lions, who were not fooled by the end around at all.
They recognized that just as quick as we did.
That's a pretty good way of putting it. And the tackle made primarily by Andy Patrick. That middle linebacker came in and did his job. He stayed in the middle of the field and sniffed this play out.
He stayed there and he couldn't catch it right away. I thought it might have been a pass back. You've seen that happen from time to time, but it was, as you said, very well just picked up by the defense.
And a timeout called with 59 seconds to go. 6-0 our score. And Earl, I'll tell you what, even if the Eagles punch one in here before halftime. I'm surprised at our score being just 1 or 2 touchdowns in the first half. These defenses have really played well.
Oh, they played very well. I mean, you've called out Andy Patrick's name a number of times. And of course, he's All-State and has had a great year. He's had 170 tackles. No other player on his team has half that many. I mean, Andy Patrick has just had an outstanding, he's closing in on a school record right now, but he has 170 for the season. And I'll tell you, this young man, he loves to play defense. He's just, as his coach says, he just got the middle stat. He just got a nose for the football.
Sure.
Just you know, that Chris Spillman thing. He just knows where the football is at, and he's there.
It'll be 2nd and 8 when action resumes. 32-yard line. This is all keyed by the Ben Millis interception, setting up this drive for the Oakridge Eagles. Straight back to throw. Atkins under pressure. Still under pressure. Nailed at the 42. A huge loss. And I mean to tell you, he did not have a chance. Going back to throw. Richard Smith led the charge for the Lions.
And 4th down, obviously they're going to go for it. Probably just throw it in the end zone, I would think. 3rd and...
Well, I think it's going to be 3rd and long. Let's take another look at the pressure coming in as Richard Smith. Also in there for Vermontville is Chris Gonser. And at no time did Atkins have a prayer on that play.
That's that quickness of the Maple Valley Lions defense. Just so quick. Small, quick, but boy, if they beat the gaps and get past those big linemen, they give a quarterback fits. And they've been able to do that to Seth Atkins today. They've been able to chase him out of the pocket. And most quarterbacks do not like to throw on the run. It's something that's very difficult for most quarterbacks to do. And yet they've been able to squeeze him somewhat and make Seth throw the ball before he wants to.
As we take you inside each of the timeout huddles. There are 49 ticks left on the clock. And officially it's 3rd down and 18 yards to go. 3 receivers now come to the right side, including the fullback Millis. Also over there, Tim Messer and Aaron Potts.
Well, that defense should get a few more players over there.
You watch and see if they come up the middle with a blitz. And now there goes Daly in motion left, and it's a quarterback draw. And that did not fool anybody. The formation set up to spread the defense out, and Seth Atkins got spread out.
Good play by the defense.
Richard Smith gets up again off the bottom of the pile.
See if they had listened to me and spread the defense out, that play might have worked. They needed more players out on the receivers.
And the Eagles burned their last time out. Well, they must have something very big in store, because I would have thought maybe you let that clock run after running into a stone wall on 3 downs. Muskegon Oakridge has a chance now.
I guess we have to assume maybe they're
going to have to heave one.
Yeah, just heave it far as you can.
And if I'm Jack Sugars, I'm hoping something real good happens here for my team. Now they're going to drop back to punt regardless. So the timeout, kind of curious, actually.
Beware of the fake punt. Beware of the fake punt on 4th down.
And it looks like they are. Vermontville does not send anybody deep to receive the punt. Their deepest guy is Jason Thompson, and he's right now guessing for about a 13-yard kick. So they're going to let everything go over top. It is not a fake. Ball is booted down towards the 10. Oh, pretty nice kick. Hits inside the 10 and is marked out at the 7 with 32 seconds to go. Now, Vermontville-Maple Valley does have 3 timeouts remaining. Not a throwing team, though, so our score very well could be 6-0 at halftime.
I would assume that Vermont-Maple Valley would just take a knee, and when you're on the 7-yard line, you really don't want to take any chances, especially with 30 seconds left in the half. You just take the knee and get ready for the second half.
Got to give some credit to Jim Merrill, the punter, on that.
Oh, good punt.
He did exactly what coaches like to see. Picked up the angle towards that pylon, got it as close to as possible without going through the end zone. So the big beef backfield for the Lions. Just going to try and hold on to that ball as the clock winds inside of 30 seconds remaining in the first half. A fast-moving first half, and slow getting up after the run is Jason Thompson.
As you said, it's the fast-moving first half. Not a lot of passes thrown, so that makes for the football game to go very quickly. But both teams have a chance to win this game.
Boy,
definitely not decided.
One touchdown scored in the opening 2 quarters of this football game, and that play was the last one of this first half. As both teams draw a standing salute from their fans, they will head up the tunnel. And I'll tell you, if you want to see or hear some strategizing going on at halftime, you'd love to be in either Middlestadt or Jack Sugar's locker room, because this game is essentially a one-run baseball game. You know, they bring in the relief pitchers to try and close it out, because this is anybody's baby. A touchdown and an extra point could very well decide it. We will be back with the second half of action after a brief timeout. And as the countdown continues to the start of the second half, both teams back out on the field finishing their warm-ups. Bill Hobson back with you along with Earl Robinson as we bring you the Class Double C Finals from the Pontiac Silverdome. I would think, Earl, by now that the jitters and the butterflies have worn themselves out of these kids, and they now, boy, especially after the hard hitting we've seen, realize they're in a pretty tough football game on both sidelines.
That's right. The defenses have taken over in this game. We've had a strong defensive struggle here. A little bit surprising, but again, maybe we shouldn't be surprised, because when you get to this level, when you get to the championship level, usually you get there with defense. Both teams have good defenses. They have overpowered basically the offenses, and when you look at the numbers here, the Eagles have only had 8 first downs to the Lions 4. Both teams have only thrown 5 passes. Muskegon is 1 of 5, 1 interception. The Lions from Maple Valley, 2 of 5, 1 interception. So not a ton of offense, but the Eagles, with the 1 touchdown, they've had the ball for 14 minutes and 11 seconds in the first half, just to the Lions 9 minutes and 49 seconds. So 106 yards of total rushing for Muskegon, and for the Lions, 92 yards rushing, that's net. And then passing, 59 yards for the Lions, 23 yards for the Eagles. And I'll tell you, this has basically been a running football game, which has sort of surprised us a little bit. But when you have good defense, you don't get to a state championship game without good defense.
Jason Thompson, the main workhorse for the Lions in the first half, had 10 carries for 69 yards. That's actually a little above his season average. On the other side, Mills was the leading rusher, or Millis, the leading rusher for the Eagles. 9 carries for 41 yards. Any football coach will tell you that every football game is decided by a handful, 4 or 5 key plays. Boy, in a 6-0 ball game, that could be more true than ever here today, as the Lions will go on offense first. Jason Thompson to return the opening kick, runs into his own man and hits him pretty hard, actually, decking Lee Gold and falling forward to the 34.
Probably cost him about 5 yards.
It's one of the best hits we've seen today.
Now, Bill, this is the quarter to look for Muskegon to really rise up. Muskegon has not allowed a point in the third quarter for the whole season.
Wow.
They have outscored their opponents 62-0 in the third quarter.
Take a look at the collision again. 22 meets 83.
Oh, yeah, he cost him 5 yards.
And 83 lost. First down and 10. We'll warn you. At quarterback, hands off, and another big collision. This time it's opposite jerseys meeting. Chris Gonser nailed at the 35. First half, by the way, Warmia 2 of 5 for 59 yards, including that 47-yard bomb that he completed.
Yep, to Van Alstyne, and I tell you, Travis Van Alstyne looked pretty good on that one.
Just 1 yard on the carry for Gonser, who has been held fairly well in check this afternoon. The full house backfield, misdirection play. Thompson gets it to the 41, where he is wrapped up and thrown to the carpet, led by Mike Rayner on the tackle.
Good play, good crossbucker misdirection with the guards pulling right, running left, and made for a nice little pickup. Now 3rd and 5, and this is where Muskegon likes to get you. Vermontville will more than likely they run the ball. They have been trying to throw it. And I'll tell you, 3rd and 5, they've got 9 men in the box here. Maybe we look full house backfield, might look for a pass.
Thompson left side's got some blockers. Does he get to the corner? It's going to be close depending on the mark.
He got it.
From where the official dropped that left foot, it does look like it'll move the chains. You never know. When that chain gang bails out on the sidelines, there's no telling where that ball is, and you're all right, Earl. That is a first down.
He was able to turn the corner on that sweep. I love the full house backfield. It sort of reminds me from the old Woody Hayes days when they used to run that one. And I tell you, used to see a lot of good fakery, a lot of trickery with that full house backfield, and they ran a great play off that one.
As the play comes in from the sidelines, kind of a misbalanced look in the backfield as Andy Patrick takes it off with the right side between Courier and Habor.
Strong right, and he just ran off tackle Habor. I tell you, fine lineman, one of the best linemen in the state, and he, along with also Trent Harvey, all-state lineman as well. So they've got a good, strong line, this Vermontville-Maple Valley team does.
And then the Lions' offensive line runs the gamuts as far as weight goes. They can start at 215, then go 170, then back to 215, and then back to 155, and then to 220. So they are picket fence at the front as the handoff goes up the middle for about 3, setting up a 3rd and 2.
That has to be a big challenge for a coach, to mix in the big guys with the little guys, and not discourage kids from wanting to, maybe wanting to do something else, because some kids, even though they're small, they just want to be linemen and they love to play that position, and that's great. I mean, he's just did an outstanding job with his team.
Call it 3rd down and 2. Jason Thompson falls forward for the first down. Good pursuit, and the initial hit had him stopped short as Eric Houston got after the running back. But then a surge at the very end by Thompson moves the chains.
Thompson using his power. I'll tell you, we've made no secret of it. Vermontville, Maple Valley, they want to run the football, and they're starting out so far doing a pretty good job. Muskegon is still putting 8, 9 men in the box right up front. They are trying to squeeze them as much as possible, but this offensive line is doing just a great job at beginning this 3rd quarter.
Pitch right side. Thompson again at the 40. Close to another first down. Brett Dutton lands on top of him at the end.
And you see, fans, that's what happens when you break the seam. When you're playing that 8 and 9 man front like Muskegon is, sure, if you want to get that initial push at the line of scrimmage, don't let the defense, that running back, get past. If you get that initial push, that forces the running back to go wider. Weren't able to do that. They were blocked well. They popped the seam, and then there's a good 8 or 9 yard cushion before the strong safety or the free safety comes up.
A lot of X's and O's and a lot of chalk dust laying somewhere diagramming plays like that, because the blocking is so crucial to its success. As Andy Patrick takes one right between the hash marks.
He's going to be close.
Yeah, very close to the first down. Looks like it's a tad short.
3rd and a yard. And Vermontville-Maple Valley just seems to be very determined coming out with this first drive that they're putting together. Boy, if they can score right here, Bill, this will really pump this team up, because they were held in check in the first half.
Senior Matt Rose checked the play in from the sidelines. The play is called a handoff. It's a bobbled handoff, but Andy Patrick does regain the handle and picks up the first down, brought down by Adam Baker. But a sustained drive to open the second half by the Maple Valley Lions. We're now inside 7:45 to go in the 3rd, and this ball has belonged to the Lions ever since the teams came out of the tunnel.
I wonder if Coach Middlestad happened to mention to his team that this Muskegon team had never been scored on in the 3rd quarter. I wonder if he just happened to mention that at halftime.
You never know. Very effective drive being put together thus far. Jason Thompson runs out of room, gets a huge block. and takes it around the end. You are not kidding. As Eric Houston had to contain on that side of the field and got knocked backwards by a couple of white jerseys. Most notably, it looked as if Andy Adams knocked him backwards. Andy at 2:15 used that mass well to open the play up. That didn't look like it was going anywhere. And take a look at the block right there, which cleared out some space.
Good, just outstanding block.
Thompson again gets the call and picks up the first down. Just flat out smash mouth football inside the 25.
The Lions offensive line is now getting a good push. I mean, you can just see them pushing back this Muskegon defense. It's power against power, and these guys are obviously very fired up in the second half. I'm just very impressed with the way the Lions are moving the football.
Jack Sugars on the field, actually imploring his defense to step it up. They have been moving backwards this entire quarter. Right side, handoff, and some room for Andy Patrick.
When you pick up 4 to 5 yards a chunk, it makes it very easy to run the football, especially when you know you're going to try it, if you have to, every 4 downs. It just brings a lot of confidence to your team, and you can just see the way this Lions team is picked up. They're just popping up to the line. They can't wait to run the next play.
Their big center, Andy Habor, gets up to the ball in a hurry out of the huddle. Thompson, left side, going to be brought down this time for a loss, as he did not get the block that he was hoping to see. And guess who gets in there to get him? It's the fullback, Ben Millis, playing some linebacker, comes up to make the stick.
I tell you, it's very dangerous when you try to run outside on an 8-9 man front. Yes, if you pop it, you can get a nice gain, but it is very difficult when you string it out, and that's what the defense wants to do, string it out till the support can come up, to the linebackers, to the DBs can come up, and that's what they did on that particular play.
Well, the loss on that carry sets up 3rd down and 8. Ball is on the 20-yard line. And a fumble. Scramble forward. I do believe the Lions got it back. But that popped out in a hurry. Andy Patrick, the ball carrier, came through the line, and somebody got a hand in to bring the pigskin out. They do recover, the Lions do, but it will set up 4th down now and 4. Take a look. See who gets a hand in there. Oh, it's a helmet in there by Mike Rayner.
Big play. 4th down, 7 yards to go on the 19-yard line.
The Lions do not go to the air often. Will they need to here? They're going to do it with a halfback option. Thompson to throw. Overthrows his intended receiver, Travis Van Alstyne, as Gunter Middlestead goes into his bag of tricks and comes up empty.
Nice play call. Nice one to try to fake out the Muskegon defense. They didn't buy it.
Yeah, they didn't. They did a very good job of sniffing that out right from the beginning, especially when the pitch went to Thompson. I thought everybody in a blue shirt would sell out on the run.
He's trying to see if Thompson has thrown a pass this year, but do not see his name here.
Well, he's 0 for 1 then.
Okay. Yep. That's right.
And we have seen it happen 3 times now. The Lions turn it over on downs. Back to Seth Adkins and the Muskegon Oakridge Eagles, who are protecting a 6-0 lead. And blazing out of the backfield is Roger Daly.
And amazingly for the Lions, they ate up 7 minutes and 10 seconds of the clock, came away with absolutely nothing, and it looks like we have a good chance, unless something happens, that Muskegon will keep that record intact for this year of not allowing a team to score. There's only 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
Daly turned an ankle on the run and checks out of the ball game now. To replace him is Mike Rayner. Mike forced the fumble on defense seconds ago and gets the carry here up over the 30. How's that for confidence in a guy by Jack Sugars? When one of your leading tailbacks goes out, you bring somebody in off the bench and give him the ball on the first carry.
That's confidence.
And for Maple Valley, a little deflation may have set in after, as Earl said, they possessed the ball for a year and a half and came up empty. Still 6-0 in favor of the Eagles.
Good stop.
Aaron Potts to the 36, and he was stopped in a hurry. I think Andy Patrick got him.
Jason Thompson helped it as well. He had a lot of help on that one.
Well, we may not see, if the score remains 6-0, we may not see the ball in the air again.
We might not. Muskegon is throwing us for a little loop here. They're just running the football. They're saying, hey, we're going to try to run the ball on this team. They're a little bit small on the defensive line. Yes, they're quick, but if we can wear them down.
And they do it again with the handoff right up the gut to Mike Rayner. Here's a team that came into today's contest with Seth Atkins throwing 1,581 yards worth. I don't know if he passed for all of his touchdowns, but he's accounted for 20 touchdowns. Tim Messer, their leading receiver, is averaging 22.5 yards a catch and 14 touchdowns. And if memory serves me, he has yet to grab a ball, and that's unbelievable.
That's amazing.
And that's what you call throwing a wrench into your opponent's game plan. Yes. Now 3rd down and 4. And off right side, back into the ball game is Roger Daly, and he was taken down from behind right at the line of scrimmage. Amazing. Looks like the Lions will get it back.
Amazing. They have basically just abandoned that passing attack that got them here. They had attempted 145 passes coming into this game for the season, and they've only had 5 this afternoon. That's amazing.
It is 4th and 4. There was no gain on the play. Back to do the punting is Jim Merrill. Plenty of time. Angles. Boy, does he bang one here.
Tremendous punt.
Jason Thompson back at the 24. Finds a little room to operate to the 30. Pretty good return as he got around Aaron Potts, the first man downfield. Picks up a few yards on the return.
Jason Thompson, a very quick young man, very good punt returner, good running back. I tell you, he's just a solid all-around player. Good receiver when he's had to throw the ball to him. I mean, he is there. He's intercepted 3 passes this year. He also returns kickoffs. I mean, I don't know. Is he out in the audience, stands there selling popcorn somewhere? I mean, he's doing everything today.
But he does drive the bus.
He drives the bus,
yes,
okay.
He's got his chauffeur's license, I believe. That's a theme, actually, that we've seen repeated throughout these finals, that each team, even though they're quality teams, is once loose and recovered somehow by Warnia. May even have picked up a half a yard on the play. That was a wild play. Each of these teams, even though quality, seem to have 1 or 2 kids that are the main cogs that make them operate, and this Jason Thompson is that young man here today.
Well, one thing about this Maple Valley team, their top 11 players. Here's the fumble.
That was a pitch out to nowhere.
Yeah.
Chris Gonser, I think, was running a different play than Trevor Warnia, and the Lions dodged one there by recovering the friendly bounce. Loss of 1 on the play. This time the pitch is completed to Thompson, who cuts it back. Big time. To midfield, and his ankle tackled, or else he was gone. Josh Chan follows him downfield. The biggest run of the game there for Jason Thompson.
Jason Thompson and Josh Chan made the game or the touchdown saving tackle because Jason Thompson was off to the races. The pitch worked this time, but he cut it back against the grain. The middle of the field is wide open because the defense is stretched out on the line. As we said often, you run that 9-man front. It's very easy. If you can find a gap and cut it in, nothing but the safeties in the middle of the field. And here we see on the replay, he just cuts it back to the middle. A couple of missed tackles, but there's no one in the middle of the field, folks. And he is just running straight up the gap, and boy, he almost goes all the way.
Oh, if Chan doesn't get him, I'm not sure anybody else would have. Now 1st and 10 into Eagle territory. Maple Valley trying to break the goose egg. We're inside of 40 seconds to go in the 3rd. Thompson right back to work and run down at the line of scrimmage. Thrown out of bounds by Adam Baker.
Tremendous defense. Tremendous defense. They just strung it out, gave Jason Thompson nowhere to run on that play. The linebacker was there. The defensive end was there. The defensive tackle was there. They just played off their blocks, strung the play out, and gave Jason Thompson absolutely nowhere to run.
Well, the ground attack was snuffed out as we round down to inside 10 seconds to go. It looks like that shutout streak will remain alive for the Oakridge Eagles. Their 3rd quarter defense has been impeccable. This will be the last play of it. Thompson's hit and dropped. And you know Gunther Middlesex is hoping that that defense will bend a little bit, but man, have they been solid today. The shutout intact as we end 3 quarters, 6-0. The Eagles 12 minutes away from a state title. One of the fastest games I've ever seen, Earl.
Me too. I mean,
it's running time.
It's amazing. This game is flying by. I mean, when two teams run the football and neither one seems to have a proclivity to put the ball in the air, it's making it fast.
I get the feeling that Gunther is not done airing it out deep. They have had some success going along as Warnia threw one deep earlier, complete to Van Alstyne, and had another one dropped that was a pretty good pass. Even he just wound up and launched it. Pretty good pass. I don't think they're done yet. However, here on 3rd and 7, their most important priority, of course, is to move the chains.
Yes, Maple Valley is going to have to put the ball up in the air because this Muskegon defense is playing so well, and whenever they get the ball, they're not throwing it. I mean, Tim Messer, their all-state receiver, may not get a catch. The Oakridge Eagles, he may not get a catch. That's a sign that the coach used.
They got the banner made up already. All they need to add is champion somewhere in there.
Somewhere in there.
12 minutes from now, you can break out the blue paint if need be. Boy, that's one heck of a picture. You got to have a big wallet to display that thing. 3rd down now and 8 yards to go. Lions run a misdirection play inside, and it's going nowhere because a very heads-up defensive play is made by Ben Millis, who stayed home and let the play run right into his arms.
Yes, he did. Just an excellent play. Boy, but if he could have gotten by Millis, he might have picked up the 1st down. I mean, there was space out there on the right side, and Millis just did a great job, picked him up, and contained him from getting outside and doing any damage.
Well, not a great area of the field to take a risk on 4th and that long, so Jason Thompson, who has pretty much done everything else for the Lions, will come in to boot it away. Back deep to receive for Muskegon Oakridge is Tim Messer. Kind of a quiet day for Messer, and the line drive punt from Thompson comes down to Messer at the 7.
Should get a good return. Just bring it up the field.
He's not moving very much, and now he's moving down. He did a lot of east-west running and was run down by Eric Goris in a hurry.
Youngsters, if you're young people out there watching this game, always go straight up the field. That was a low kick. He could have gotten at least 5 to 7 yards, but he was looking for a seam because he wanted to try to break the long wind, which a lot of us and a lot of young people and a lot of players do on a punt return. But in that situation, it was a low punt. The defense, the punt coverage team was not down yet. He could have picked up 6 or 7 yards. So sometimes you just have to go straight for it and get as many yards as you can.
Jason Thompson with a pretty good effort on his punt. Officially marked at the 12-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Ben Millis, not much room to operate to the 14.
And I'll tell you, now if you're Muskegon and if you want to win this football game, you're on the 10-yard line. All you want to do is move the chains down 10 at a time. If you can probably eat up 7 minutes or so like Vermontville did in the 3rd quarter. They're spreading it out like they're going to pass, but I bet they're going to keep this ball on the ground as much as they can because, hey, they've got a 6-0 lead. The ball is in their hands. This has been a fast-moving game, and they believe that they can win this game by running the football.
Aaron Potts will try to do just that at the 20-yard line, brought down short of the 1st down. And Earl, we might want to dig into the record books and see if there's ever been a 6-0 final score in the state finals.
And got a feeling there might have been one. We know we've had shutouts before. There've been numerous shutouts in the history of the game.
This is going to go down as one of the best defensive. Fastest is for sure, and one of the most intense defensive struggles in recent history here at the Pontiac Silverdome. 3rd down and 3 to go. Aaron Potts gets the 1st down to the 28-yard line, spun forward to maybe the 29.
And we can see Jack Sugar's game plan developing for this 4th quarter. Move the chains. keep the chains rolling. Another first down. I don't think they're going to put the ball in the air unless they absolutely have to. The guards they're getting a good push off the line. The guards are getting a good push. The center's getting a good push, and they're running in between the tackles. They're not going too far outside the end. And now we're seeing the Maple Valley defense. They've got 8 men in the box right now. They are trying to stop this running team.
Millis goes in motion, and guess what? The ball's in the air to Messer. Messer gets outside to the 35. That surprised everybody in the house, including these two announcers, as the tackle was made by Jason Thompson and Trevor Wawarnia. Maybe a keep-em-honest play by Jack Sugars.
Just what it was. He saw the Maple Valley defense creeping up into the line. He saw that 8 and 9 man front, said, hey, we're going to keep them off guard. We're going to throw a pass here, a safe pass. Remember, it was a safe pass. It wasn't a downfield pass, a very safe pass, almost a lateral.
Yep.
And it was well blocked, and now they'll go back to the running game.
If memory serves me, Earl, we are playing a penalty-free second half of football. Inside 9 minutes to go. Bailey on the right side, or Daly, excuse me, on the right side picks up the first down. Roger Daly came into this contest at 6.5 yards a carry and almost 1,300 yards on the season rushing.
See another first down. That's all they want to do, keep the chains moving.
Boy, they are doing just that. A sustained drive. Now 8.5 minutes to play in this Class Double C championship game. The Eagles with a 6-0 lead and a first down at the 45. Millis to the 50. Into Lion territory and another first down as the bruising fullback just put down his head and ran into Lance Flory, but not until the chains are moved once again.
Lance Flory and Jason Thompson with the stop. Just again, that simple dive play up the middle, and he just made the move. And I'll tell you, Ben Millis is a big, strong runner. And that pass play has set up the rest of this running game because the defense loosened up. Now they're going back. They're jamming the box. Now you're seeing back. They've got an 8-9 man front again.
Aaron Potts brought down just after he crossed the line of scrimmage by Andy Patrick.
So they're going to force this Maple Valley. Gunther Middlestad says, hey, you know, we jammed you. You threw on us. We're going to make you throw again. We're going to see if you can do that again. They jammed that line, held them up. Now, we will see now. Will Jack Sugars put the ball in the air? They're tightened up on the defense again. They're going to spread it out. They're going to a basic pass formation.
The Lions start 10 seniors on defense, but they are being outplayed at the line of scrimmage right now by the Oakridge Eagles. Handoff. And some room to run for Roger Daly. They brought him down at the 27 or 28, and that will be another first down as Daly just followed the big lead block of Eric Houston as tight end.
Another first down, takes it to the 28-yard line. This drive started on about the 12-yard line. And here we go. Daly's just taking it off tackle. Good blocking. 85 made a good block. And he just takes it outside. And a one-arm tackle, which probably prevented a touchdown.
You get the feeling, Earl, that if the Eagles can punch one in here, even if they leave 5 minutes on the clock, it might be enough.
It could be.
Adkins gives to Millis. He is stuffed.
Straight ahead, power game. Seth Adkins comes over to get the next play from the coach.
Clock continues to count down at 6.5 minutes now.
They've ate up almost 5 minutes in this drive so far.
Well, I was joking at halftime because second half may take in real world time about 24 minutes. It might take about 25. That's about it. No penalties thus far in the second half. And Muskegon Oakridge controlling the clock. Daly, nowhere to go. It's going to be third down and long, which sets up a most interesting play call coming in from the sidelines.
Sets up the obvious passing situation, but now they've ran almost 6 minutes off the clock. We're under 6 minutes left in this football game. If they can pick up a couple more first downs, which they could around the 26-yard line, they could probably take it down to the 3-minute mark if they can pick up 2 more first downs.
And this is where you will most often in college see a field goal team trot onto the field or on fourth down. This is not field goal range for high school.
No.
This is, you still need to pick up a first down here. Back to throw is Adkins. Seth's going to go to the end zone. Underthrown and incomplete. Jason Thompson in coverage. That was pretty much play center field and just knock it to the carpet. Now, Earl, 4th down and 8 from the same spot. You can try to pin one deep with a good punt or go for it.
I think you go for it in this situation because you're only on the 28-yard line. So here we go. He didn't look towards Aaron Potts. That is, Aaron was open, but he went to his main man, Tim Messer, and defender just made an outstanding play.
And that's Jason Thompson. He's been all over
he
the
does
place.
It all. 4th down, you have to go for it. And even if you run it, you still take 20 seconds off the clock.
Watch the hard count from Seth Adkins. And it works. The first penalty of the second half draws Lucas Flory over the line of scrimmage. It will not be a first down, but it is 5 free yards. And you almost can feel that one coming, Earl, from the time they broke the huddle.
You nailed it, Bill, on the head that time. They used a hard count. Now 4th and 3. Now they can, if they want to, run the football. They've been averaging about 5 yards a pop, so we might see Mr. Daly on this one getting the carry at 4th and 3.
Yeah, that puts a whole new twist on this 4th down play. Check out this backfield formation with Millis, Potts, and Daly.
And the defense is playing for the run. They are stacking the middle of that line.
Option play. First down picked up, maybe.
Oh, it's going to be close.
I'll tell you what, I thought Seth Adkins had it in a heartbeat, and he was nailed right at the crucial point. They'll probably have to bring the chains across the field to measure this. Yep, the official timeout. And this measurement, my friends, with 5:21 to go in the 4th quarter, could very well decide the outcome of this game or play a major role in it. We have a 6-0 lead for the Muskegon Oakridge Eagles. From my vantage point, Earl, I don't even want to guess, but I think they have the first down.
I'm going to disagree with you. I think they're about half a yard short.
All right.
We'll see whose eyes, yeah.
Either way you look at it, Seth Adkins, you're all right.
He's short.
Is it short? They're still measuring. It is short.
It's short.
Oh, my goodness. You are about an inch and a half. You must have eagle eyes.
Sometime I got new glasses, Bill.
The Vermontville-Maple Valley Lions have kept themselves alive in the Class CCC title hunt with that defensive stop. Here's the play again, and I thought Adkins had it in a heartbeat.
He's running the option all the way.
Here we go, right? Boom! He's going to get hit and dragged down. Great tackle by Andy Patrick. And then finishing it off and stopping any forward lean, I think Jason Thompson. How fitting. 5:21 to go. Wow, what a measurement that was. Pitch out goes to who else but Thompson. And he's hauled down from behind by Adam Baker, who has played a fantastic game at middle linebacker.
Getting close to that time, even though 5 minutes is plenty of time, it was a good time for them to get the ball. Another first down or two, that it would have really been tough on Maple Valley. I think, though, they are going to have to throw the football. So, but I don't know if they can drive 74 yards.
And back to throw goes Wawarnia. Under pressure, sacked. Millis back there to apply the pressure. Eric Houston back to finish him off. And then, is this a flag for excessive celebration?
I believe you're right, Bill.
Oh, that's too bad. If that's the case, that's too bad. It'll be 15 yards if that's the call. Dead ball, personal foul against the offense. Which I did not see. Gunther Middlestat out on the field receiving an explanation.
He's hot.
I didn't think the celebration was excessive, but did not realize the offense had committed that sort of an error. Oh, man. 3rd and 23. If you want to see the textbook definition of digging a hole, that penalty just provided it. And now a couple of guys will be back to play center field. Brett Dutton and Aaron Potts, and then the rest of them most likely coming hard after Wawarnia. A draw play. He's not going to go anywhere.
No. An old trap play where you pitch it, you fake the pitch, and you bring it back, and he tries to pop one up the middle.
Well, that's tough. Now the clock is at 4:10.
And they've got a punt.
You know what? They're going to have to kick it away. This is not a time to go for it, because if you don't get it, you're completely dead. 3 timeouts left on each team. 4 minutes to go in the ball game. Still plenty of time, actually. If Maple Valley can force a 3 and out, they'll be just fine with some more time to play. Just getting off the field in time was the 12th player for the Eagles. Bouncing punt's going to pick up some serious yardage.
He should have picked it up.
Aaron Potts lets it go, and that turns out to be a pretty good effort. Kick from the 10. That's about a 53-yarder.
But again, I guess the coach was saying, don't pick it up, let it roll. Let's get more time off the clock.
And don't fumble. Just get away from that thing.
They still have great field position on their own 38. 3 minutes, 40 seconds left in the football game. All they need is a few first downs, 3 first downs. This game is probably over.
The Muskegon Oakridge Eagles out of the Western Michigan Conference looking to win the Class Double C Championship. 3:41 from their goal. 1 touchdown scored in this game. It was by Ben Millis. Here's Aaron Potts with it, going to cover that ball up and get rocked at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards by a host of Lions.
Because they're going to be grabbing at that football. They're going to be trying to get it every chance they get.
You are correct, sir. Chris Gonser, main man in on the tackle. And the Lions do burn their first timeout. Probably a good idea.
Yes.
Going to bet on the 3 and out as their hope of getting back in this. I can guarantee you, Earl, that as Vermontville came in here, having put up scores of 52 and then several in the 20s and a couple scores in the 30s in the regular season, they did not count on struggling to get any points on the board today.
No, this has been a very good offensive team. I mean, they've scored 277 points this year, and they've done it running the football. And a lot of that is ball control offense. They don't let the other team have the football, so consequently, they don't give up a lot of points. But this game, the tables have turned. Muskegon has really did what Maple Valley's been doing all year long. They've been running the football, running it very successfully between the tackles, and almost totally abandoning their passing game. And it's just an outstanding job by their offensive line to be able to run the football, and the coach is stuck with that game plan.
At halftime, the time of possession favored the Eagles 14-11 to 9:49. When we get the final stats, I guarantee you it'll be even more dramatically in the favor of Muskegon Oakridge, as they have held this ball a vast majority of the second half. Big tackle laid on Roger Daly, hauled down hard by Andy Habor. And again, the run defense strong for Maple Valley. 3:15 to go. They do not burn a timeout here. It's 3rd down and 7.
Smart move, not burning the timeout in case if they'll do that on the next play.
Yep.
But if they get a first down, then they'll still have a chance with 2 timeouts to burn if they should get a first down.
This game's a long way from being over, my friends. Will Atkins go to the air? He will not. He will go to Daly, and that's the first down that could seal it.
That hurt.
Big hit laid by Lance Flory to bring down Daly. Now I think Daly might actually be injured. In fact, I think he's out on his feet.
Yes.
Lance Flory absolutely brought the lumber full time at the end of that play, and Daly hit the carpet in a hurry.
As we say in football parlance, he got his bell rung.
He certainly did.
Here he comes. I mean, it was a quick hitter. Hole opens up on the left side.
And here comes the big one. Watch number 70 come into your picture from the right, and bang.
Boom. He got cross blocked. 22 hit him low, and 70, as you said, hit him high. And that's you don't like to be in that position.
They now do have him sitting up.
Jason Thompson and Lance Flory, they laid the wood to him that time, but I think he's going to be okay.
And he did pick up the first down. Now with 2:49 to go, 2 timeouts on the clock remaining for the Lions.
And he even commented, hey, good hit.
Yeah, he did. Or he may have thought that was his team. I'm not sure which.
Yeah.
And Roger Daly has had a great day. He may be finished, but he has had a big day today for the Oakridge Eagles.
And you can bet, as soon as he found out he was okay, Brock said, did I get the first down?
And he's a senior. You know, if he can work it out, he'll want to be on the field for the end of this contest. Now 2.5 minutes remaining. Seth Adkins most likely looking to hand it off. He does to Millis. Ben Millis with nowhere to go and a timeout burned.
They'll have one more left for Maple Valley, and this could be in trouble if you burn this last timeout, and that means if they can get a first down, we're down to 2:20 now. This game is over if they can get another first down, force them to lose that last timeout. But I'll tell you, we have seen a great defensive battle here in the Silverdome. Not what we expected from the two best teams in the Class CC this year, but just a tremendous, tremendous game. Defense has taken over, and when you get to play for a state championship, folks, that's what gets you to the big dance. And that's what got both these teams here. I mean, Muskegon has only given up 90 points for the year. Maple Valley, 56 points for the year. Two outstanding defensive teams, smart teams, great teams. Maple Valley's top 11 players have a 3.34 GPA. So these are not only good football players, good, smart football players.
And if you want to see a barometer of how this game has gone, the lone touchdown was scored by Millis on a 1-yard dive on a drive that covered 17 plays, 91 yards, and took 10 minutes and 10 seconds. That was what the scoring dive took place to open the second quarter. Since then, it's been a dead even ball game. Whistles blow before the play can take place out of the timeout.
They had 10 men in the box that time.
I think they're playing run. And that dead ball false start will back it up to 2nd and 15.
Oh, that's a good plus for Maple Valley because the clock will not start until the ball is snapped. So, therefore, this is almost like giving them an extra timeout. So if they can stop them on this play, that'll really help. Now 2nd and 15. And the question is, will Muskegon put it in the air?
I would fall out of this booth if they threw the ball at this point. And I don't have a parachute, so let's see what happens. And, I thought I was diving. Instead, Daly's diving because they have him behind the line of scrimmage. And a flag down at the 50.
Maybe a hold.
Yeah, things could not have worked out better for the Lions as the flag stops the clock. The play is knocked back for a loss. They will most likely decline the penalty, setting up 3rd down and what will amount to be almost 20 yards to go. And for Jack Sugars, his team is in danger of not closing this one out in the style that he has diagrammed.
They declined it, of course.
Oh, absolutely. You don't want to give him the extra down. So if you want to hang on by your fingernails to a last ditch of hope on the Lions sidelines, this is it. It is 3rd down and 19 yards to go with 2:10 and rolling on the clock. This play, to say it's huge, is an understatement.
Going down to under 2 minutes in this game, so they will probably just run the football and go to 4th down.
And the Lions have 1 timeout remaining if they want to stop the clock. It's a keeper by Atkins. He's not going to get the first down, and in fact, he is going to get run down and thrown down by Travis Vanelstein. And now, do they burn a timeout? Maple Valley has 1 left on the scoreboard. It's 4th down and 18 yards to go.
Oh, they're taking a chance if they don't.
And they are going to let the time run off the clock. That'll cost them about 30 seconds. And we'll take over the ball with no time left.
Here it comes. They wasted a little bit too much time to call that timeout.
Yeah, they certainly did. If they're going to call it, do it right after. No, this is
official's timeout.
You are correct. In fact, they're going to send one of the players, Lucas Flory, off the field, either for a little blood or an equipment adjustment. So he's got to come out on a play when very likely the Lions are coming after the punter. All right.
Yeah, they've got to go for the block.
This ending has been anything but dull. A minute, 15 seconds, the clock is rolling.
But let me give you would you just run the ball on 4th down and take it to under a minute? I mean.
Well, the Eagles are going to do one thing here. They're going to wait for this play clock to get down to about 3 seconds, call a timeout. So they're going to take this down to its maximum distance.
Yeah, but Maple Valley, they can't let all that time run off the clock. It hurts them, so they're forcing them to use that last timeout.
Now let's see. No, here's what's happening. The officials had sent out of the game once Lucas Flory. When they send a player out, even if it's for an equipment adjustment and he has time to get it adjusted, he still can't come back in on that play. Lucas had to stay out. He came back onto the field. The officials caught it. I don't know if that's a penalty or not. Either way, a lot of time ran off the clock, and I think somebody's going to be making an issue of that very thing.
I mean, if I'm Maple Valley, I want some time put back on that clock.
Wow. And they are holding the clock now at 1:02. So kind of a bizarre ending to what's happening, but it's 4th and 18, time to punt.
They're going for the block,
and they have got some beef coming after Jim Merrill. Oh, they almost got there and run him over. They run him over. And no matter what happens after this, especially now that Jim Merrill is still down.
It should be a fight. Well, yeah, that's right. It's not like in the running into. Yeah, this is it.
And guess what, my friends? The roughing the kicker has just delivered the state title to the Muskegon Oakridge Eagles. Let's watch for the official indication, and you're going to hear this crowd erupt. And I will say this, it was not an acting job. Jim Merrill was run over. At the 50-yard line, the most important man in the stadium makes the call, and there's the first down.
Now it's just a matter of running out the clock. 50 seconds left in the contest.
You can see some of the Lion players discussing that call.
How about it for this Muskegon offensive line? Tim Johnston, Kyle Brott, Nate Monroe, Steve Walters, Derek Murphy, tight end Eric Houston. This offensive line has just done a great job all day, blocking for Seth Atkins, blocking for Roger Daly and Ben Millis. And I'll tell you, they deserve all the credit in the world for winning this game. This offensive line for Muskegon has just done one great job.
And I am still in disbelief that we are looking at a 6-0 final score in a game that will take under 2 hours to play. At the Pontiac Silverdome, we have seen one touchdown. It took place as the first play of the second quarter. Ben Millis dove in from about 3 inches out to cap off a 10-minute drive for the Oakridge Eagles, keyed by that offensive line that Earl just mentioned.
And other than that, we have to credit this Vermontville-Maple Valley defense.
Absolutely.
They've done a fantastic job. Pat Lowe at end, Chris Gonzer at tackle, Lucas Flory at the nose, Trent Harvey at the tackle, Lance Flory at the other end. They have done a tremendous job. Andy Patrick in the middle, Matt Rose and Travis Van Alstyne, the linebackers. They've just played a great defensive game.
It is take a knee time for Seth Adams. No timeouts remaining. Vermontville just burned one before this play. In fact, they may not reset this ball at all. We'll keep an eye on the play clock. Atkins runs to the sidelines for the play. I think I can guess what it is.
Just a little low knee here. As we say, it's been a fantastic defensive game. We both thought we would see more offense today, but that's the beauty of high school football, Bill. I mean, you really never know what you're going to get in a game in high school football.
We will let the crowd count this one down. One final snap for Atkins, and then we'll let you listen to them. And the wild celebration ensues on the field as your Class Double C championship team, coached by Jack Sugars, the Muskegon Oakridge Eagles.
And I'll tell you, Bill, when I was talking with Jack, he said they wanted to get here after they lost 15-14 last year in the semis. This was the impetus for this season. That was their goal, to get back, not only to get back to the state championship, win it. He said they dreamed of it, they visualized it, they worked hard all year long just for this moment because they were so close last year, and they've done it. Congratulations to Muskegon. Congratulations to Vermontville-Maple Valley.
Yeah.
Two outstanding football teams, and we're seeing the great sportsmanship. They're shaking hands right now. Tough loss for Vermontville, but hey, there's a lot of teams that would love to be in the position that these two teams are in today.
I heard a coach yesterday put it very well. His team had just lost. He said, you know what? He said, we didn't play that well, but we played.
Exactly. If that's what you want to do after Thanksgiving, you want to be in the Silverdome here playing for the state championship.
Congratulations to the Eagles. Boy, they have brought some people with them here today at the Silverdome as well.
I ran into some of that crowd on the way up here today.
And if these two teams were to hook up 10 more times, you might have a 5-5 series.
They are that close.
Trophy presentation will be made. Muskegon Oakridge seniors played their last game today. Aaron Potts, Brett Dutton, Seth Adkins, Tim Messer, Roger Daly, Ben Millis, Nate Monroe, David Bowen, Todd Tooling, Jim Merrill, Chuck Passenier, Alan Dutton, Kyle Brott, Tim Johnston, Eric Houston, Jason Patella. Fantastic job by those seniors. And on the other side of the ball, Earl, we'd be remiss if we didn't recognize the seniors of the Vermontville-Maple Valley Lions, including Matt Rose and Brian Farrow, Pat Lowe, Trevor Wawarnia, the quarterback, Jason Thompson, their Mr. Everything, Chris Gonser, Lucas Flory, Jamie Noteboom, Jeremy Racy, Lance Flory, Andy Habor, Trent Harvey, and Travis Van Elstein, the seniors from this Vermontville-Maple Valley team, who will now be presented with the runner-up trophy for the Class Double C Championship.
The Lions of Maple Valley High School.
As Gunther Middlestadt comes out to accept. Got to be a very proud moment for him.
Maple Valley Lions on an
For the school, for their whole community that really is shown up here at Silverdome today, showing their support for their team.
And now Jack Sugars lifts the hardware to the roof.
All the hard work of these young men started back in August with the 2-a-days, 70, 80-degree heat. It's all paid off. It's all worth it this moment right now, winning the state championship. You just have to think back, and you know those guys are feeling, they're just probably crying and everything. I mean, you start in August in 2-a-days, and then to end here at the end of November with the state championship. What a feeling.
And leading the charge is Brett Dutton. Brings it over to the fans who are just going crazy here at the Silverdome. 7 champions now have been crowned with 1 remaining in the following game. None will be happier, though, than the Class Double C title holders, the Muskegon Oakridge Eagles. For Earl Robinson, I'm Bill Hobson. Congratulations, Eagles, on your Class Double C state title.
Falcons